holidays, all my fellow rideshare drivers. Thought I'd give a few pro tips on how to work Vegas during the holidays. It's a little different experience than normal. It's a different crowd usually, and I think we're going to see, based on my 5 rides today, I think we're going to see this crowd that I'm talking about, the foreign travelers, primarily like Southeast Asia and India. So you are going to have a different crowd. You're going to get people from areas that customarily do not tip, so that could impact your income a little bit. But try to do some things that you should have as already formed a habit of doing by now. I don't get me wrong, I know most drivers don't do this, but there's gestures and things you can do to up your odds for maybe a $2 or $3 or $5 tip with folks you may not be able to communicate with. And one of those things is just obviously at the airport, taking care of handling their luggage. The other thing, when you get to the end of the ride, just try to thank them as best you can and open the door for them as well. It's a small thing. It'll help keep your legs loose. And again, potentially up your opportunity of a gratuity from people who don't typically do this. Good news is you should be getting a lot of short rides from like the Asian district or Indian restaurants back and forth to the Strip. I did this a couple of years ago, and I remember posting it was the most rides I'd ever done in one day. I liked it. It was easy, more non-cerebral than usual. Again, hopefully you'll see some elevated pricing, some lift power zones, and some surges. A lot of drivers, take time off to spend time with their family. And again, I'm speaking to, as well, from now through New Year's. You got to get prepared for New Year's as well. There should be some road closures. You're going to have to navigate people to pick up spots. I wouldn't drive New Year's, to be brutally frank. You may think you're making more money, and you likely are. There's usually good elevated pricing, but for what you're making, oh great, I got a guy who wants to get picked up in the street. I'll continue this later. I'm at Resorts World. I'm not on the boulevard. All right, not sure where I left off when Enrique jumped into my car at Resorts World. Yeah, again, you're gonna have a lot of folks from out of the country, so there's gonna be some language issues. Communicate as best you can. Get a Google Translate or something on your phone too. Maybe I used to do this pre-COVID. I load up Google Translate, and I'd have it hooked up on my Bluetooth. Then when we got there, I'd say something like, "Hey guys, have a great time," in their native tongue. Probably a little too much work, but it was fun for me. And I did pull tips. I have probably 100. Well, not 100, but at least 50 different pieces of currency, because I used to ask people for tips in their currency. People like showing off. It's a little proud moment. Hey, do you have any in Bulgaria, or the euro, or the won, or whatever their currency is? Just tell them you collect foreign currency. I do. I've never cashed this stuff in, but probably got a couple hundred. Even more. I remember some guy from Switzerland gave me a nice note that was worth like $30. I don't know. These are some ideas to perhaps attempt, because if you are driving the resort area, you're likely going to have more people that cannot communicate with you in English, first language, than usual. It's just the way things are. Come holiday season, I'm hoping we see a lot of these folks. They keep Vegas going. They come here because they don't celebrate these holidays, and they spend money. Yeah, you're gonna run into a lot more kids without car seats. You're gonna run into 5 people in the sedan. It's just part of the gig this time of year. Just happened to me on my second ride today. Pulled up, 4 adults, 1 kid. And again, this is where you can here, you know, there's a screenshot here that I took 4 Ubers this week again. And let me see if I can get this on here. But as you can see, man, Uber is requiring a tick box now that they agree to sit in the back seat. They agree, you know, to wear their face coverings. It did take them 15 months to finally throw this in the app after I made the recommendation. Again, is everyone going to follow it? No, but there's a little more friction, and you can show that screenshot to them that, hey, man, you just said you weren't going to sit in the front and you're going to wear face masks. I'm just trying to follow Uber and the CDC's mandate. You know, if you're worried about those things. But those are some things you can do. Good news is, you know, if you know how to work the arrive by destination filters, check out one of my videos on how to use the arrive by destination filter. You can really put very few miles on your cars because you're taking these folks to and from restaurants off the strip often. New Year's, a little different beast. Obviously, we get a lot more Americans here. And, you know, just back to what I said before I cut off this clip, man, pick your poison. New Year's is challenging, getting people to you. Looks like we're going to have rain, too. This could be really good. I mean, if you're out there and you know how to find people and get them to you, there's going to be a lot of people needing rides. I just checked the forecast with this last guy. I wanted to do a trip to the Hoover Dam tomorrow. Looks like we're going to have rain almost through the end of the year, or at least good likelihood of it. I mean, the downside is a lot of people stay in the casinos when they're doing that, and a lot of people walk through green arrows. Lastly, sorry if this offends any of you, but facts are facts. You are going to get some weird ass odors in your car. Hey, I'm an old white guy. I smell like Depends and Pepto-Bismol. There, I didn't hurt my feelings. But get this shit. It costs $5, $6 at any office store, probably less at Walmart. You can try with your Febreze and your little, you know, those little things you put in the vents that you get from the car washes. But I'm telling you, man, I've been doing this a while. Ozium eradicates a lot of these ill smells and does so relatively quickly. It just neutralizes it. I mean, it stinks a little bit when you first spray it, but that smell's gone. I'd keep your windows down too. I don't know if it's toxic. Been getting a lot of headaches since using Ozium. Just kidding. But anyway, man, it's a great tool to have. You don't want, well, I guess your next riders are from the same country. They'll probably enjoy that smell. But anyway, I just like keeping a neutral smell in the car and not overdoing it. The single biggest sense linked to memory is the sense of smell. So, you know, keep your car smelling either neutral or, I mean, I hate getting in a car with overwhelming perfume or air fresheners that are just too toxic. Another tip, the single most liked sense of smell is vanilla when it comes to air fresheners. So you can find some vanilla air fresheners. I like the new car scent personally, but that's a fact from the promo product space. The smell of vanilla is the most enjoyable, if you will, for the majority of people. Other than that, I know a lot of people wonder about stops. So I tested this out in the app, and I mean, Uber and Lyft, God, you know, they would have made a killing on this. Let's see, they upped my fare by $1.32 to add the stop in the app for 2 minutes. Driver would have gotten 32 cents of that, so Uber's getting about 70%. Probably likewise on Lyft, and this is why people don't add stops, because it ups their fare. Again, I never ask them to. I just tell locals, you know, if they're stopping, take your stuff with you. You know, I got a 3-minute limit. I got to get back on the road, just like it says in the app. And so be it for the ratings. I'm not real concerned. You're always going to get people who aren't respectful of your time. It's because they don't value their own time. Went a little long. Hopefully you can pull some things from this. Maybe play some festive music too. Up to you. A friend of mine was doing the Christmas soundtracks the last 10 days. Said he was getting tips galore from foreigners. I don't know. It's festive. They're not going to hate you for playing music to celebrate the holiday that's celebrated by the majority of Americans. Other than that, man, good news is, you know, not going to face a lot of danger with people from Southeast Asia, usually, or at least in my experience. Beware, though, man. I've just noticed this. A lot of these folks slam doors a little harder than usual. I'm not sure the reason, if it's showing off their tiny muscles or what the deal is, but again, I get out and at least preserve my back, driver's side door on most rides, and open it and shut it. You know, hopefully, again, up the odds for it to. Hopefully, some of these things have been helpful. Whatever you do, have a joyous holiday season, folks.